Hey, I'm Adam D with the Local Connect and KW Realty, and the most common question I get is, how's the market? Well, thanks for returning. We're back for another monthly market update, this month for February 2024. And as you know, we've started 2024 recently, and already we have seen a continuation of the highly competitive real estate market that now we've been seeing for almost 4 or 5 years. And I know you've heard me say it before, and I'm sorry, but I have to repeat the same news again. The reason we're seeing the market we're currently seeing is due to low inventory levels. So houses are still selling quickly. Now rates, or mortgage interest rates, have ticked up just a bit the last couple weeks. They're certainly down from those historic highs that we saw back in the fall. And a lot of predictions are that they're going to continue to actually trend down as we get into the mid and later parts of the year here. So we'll take a look at that in a moment when we dig into the numbers. The start of the year, again, is a time for predictions for what's going to happen the rest of the year. And a lot of the people that I talk to every day, not experts, but the buyers and sellers, I have telling me once again that they think that prices are going to decline. And I have to tell you, I hear this at the beginning of most years. And more often than not, prices end up increasing by the end of the year. And I think we may see that again this year, but at a more modest pace than we've seen in previous years. So let's see what the experts actually think about that. We'll dig into the numbers right now, look at not only here locally at the South Jersey Shore, but the rest of the real estate market across the entire United States. All right, here are inventory levels for all of Cape May County. You can see that it's dipped down just a little bit, but more importantly, there hasn't been any significant changes. I mean, we're a little bit above that severe inventory shortage that we saw in 2021, but still things are very low compared to what they were even in a good market in 2019. And this is what we keep talking about. Same thing in Atlantic County, no significant changes to inventory. It may have ticked up a little bit here or there, ticked down, but it's been pretty consistent and it's low overall, which has kept us in this seller's market. Now, consumers or Americans are questioned every month on what they think is going to happen to home prices. And we've had a good majority of Americans think that home prices are going to decline. Now, the number of people who thought that home prices are going to decline has actually gone down in recent history, but we still have 1 in 4 Americans who think that real estate prices, will decline this year. And I think the number actually might be higher because a lot of the clients and people that I talk to every day are convinced that prices are going to go down, and they have been for some time, and it just simply hasn't happened. And the concern about it is that we don't know that this is going to happen. And I have people who are really kicking themselves because they didn't buy 4 or 5 years ago, and they missed out on some massive appreciation. And so that caused me to look back and do some homework on how often it is that home prices actually depreciate or go down. And we have a lot of years where things are pretty neutral, maybe, a small appreciation, not a whole lot, but we really only had 4 years, and they were all consecutive right after the 2008 financial crisis. But for the most part, every other year, prices either stayed the same or increased. So we're looking back to 1980 here, and we had 4 years. And on average, out of those 43 years in total, prices appreciated just about 5%. And I think what's important about that is that's probably the territory that we're heading back to. We're not going to see the 2021 massive appreciation any longer, but we might still see that 3, 4, 5% kind of a normal year of appreciation. Doesn't mean that there's going to be a drastic decline in prices. Again, that only happens very seldom. If we look back 30 years, prices appreciated almost 300% in America. And if you didn't buy in the last 5 years, you missed out on 54%, and the past year was 7%. Now, this is for all of America. Our numbers will be a little bit different, but the same principle applies, that if you hold on to real estate long enough, prices will go up, and it often doesn't have to be long enough. It can be a relatively short amount of time, like we've had the past 5 years. Now, continue talking about home prices. Some of the leading economists, companies like Goldman, the real estate companies like Zillow and Realtor.com, they predict where home prices are going. And for 2024, at the end of last year, they had their original forecast, and already in January 2024, they have updated their forecast. And most of these companies and experts think that prices are going to appreciate more than they had thought this upcoming year. So we'll see if that holds true. My opinion is that we'll probably see some modest appreciation, but nothing crazy off the charts as far as appreciation. More of a normal year. And same thing with those forecasts. All but one company foresees home prices increasing this year. One company, Realtor.com, thinks they will decline. So the majority sees appreciation. Now, mortgage interest rates. We know we had these massive increases of rates last year in 2023. Back in the fall, around October, we hit these highs just about 8%. And then towards the end of the year, they went down almost 1.5 points. And over the last couple of weeks, they've ticked up and they're getting a little bit closer to 7% again. And we'll see what happens. At the end of January, the Fed meeting, they did not change rates again. So I believe that was 4 consecutive meetings going back to September 2023. So there hasn't been any federal rate increases in quite some time. And that's one of the things that has actually caused rates to go down. And a lot of experts are predicting that that's going to continue throughout the course of this year, that rates may go down a little bit further. And so this is what Fannie Mae thinks, the largest purchaser of loans. And then we looked at a few other companies, and the vast majority of them think that as we go out throughout the course of 2024, that mortgage interest rates are going to go down even further. And if that happens, it's going to cause even more buyers to enter the market. Some people who were not selling previously because they were locked into a low interest rate loan, if rates get low enough, they'll actually re-enter the market, and there'll probably be more inventory and more transactions as well if this happens throughout the course of the year. So we will see. So there you have it. That's a look at the numbers, not only for the entire United States, but right here at the local South Jersey shore. I represent buyers, sellers, and investors all over Cape May and Atlantic County, the islands, shore points, and the immediate offshore points. I also have expert realtors all over the country that we've established connections with and have worked with in the past. If you ever need somebody in a different area, just let me know and I'd be able to connect you with one of them. So if you're a buyer waiting for prices to go down, you might want to think twice about that, not make the same mistake that a lot of buyers have made the past few years. It's a big concern right now is you may have missed out on massive appreciation by waiting, and historically real estate goes up more years than it doesn't. In fact, there's only been 4 years out of the past 48 years that real estate values have depreciated or declined. And if you're a seller, well, again, this is a reminder to take advantage of the great real estate market that we're in, because if interest rates do decrease, it will cause more people to sell your home, and you may not have as much of an advantage at that point. Please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. That way you're alerted of all things real estate here at the South Jersey Shore. I'm Adam D with the Local Connect and KW Realty. Thanks again for viewing the video, and I'll see you on the next one.